All right, hey guys, it's Jennifer again. I'm one of those out of sight, out of mind. If I don't need to deal with it, I don't deal with it. ADHD brain. So I still haven't figured out a better way to do my filming other than the little tabletop stand that it's currently on. So everything is, again, at a weird angle. As you can see, I've got my calendar book out. It is for July. I'm going to sit here with my pre-made stickers and put everything down while I chatter at you. So it is the last Sunday of June, which I think is like the 28th. I have been home from Florida, I would say exactly 1 week, but since I didn't get home until 3 o'clock Monday morning, it's been not quite exactly 1 week. I flew home on Father's Day, so while I was down in Florida, I met up with my dad and took him out to dinner while I was down there a couple days before Father's Day. Father's Day was the 21st. My little sister's birthday was the 24th, but I didn't get a chance to see her because she was at work, and then she was taking my youngest niece, no, not my youngest niece, her youngest child to volleyball nationals in Orlando over the weekend, so I really didn't get a chance to see any of the girls, the two nieces or my sister, but I did see my dad, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. I had an absolute blast in Florida. Oh my gosh. What I had wanted to do was a glass bottom boat tour. The only glass bottom boats that I could find on some of those tour sites were kayaks, and there was no way in the world I was going to be able to do a 2-hour tour with kayak because I would have to paddle myself. So instead, I found a dolphin tour and did that. Now, the Thursday before I left for Florida, a friend of mine dropped her kid off at the studio, and she was burned, sunburned. The day before, it was a 4-hour river tubing trip with a bunch of middle schoolers, and some of them didn't know how to swim. Some of them didn't know how to get unstuck from the bank. So that's what she ended up doing, and she figured out quickly that it was easier if she just laid on her belly on her tube, and from the bottom of her swimsuit shorts all the way down to her ankles was red. And then parts of her were blistering already after a day. So I learned my lesson from her. That's what I'm getting at. I'm sharing her poor little story. I mean, she was still wearing the swimsuit shorts to go to work on Thursday, and she's about to go work in front of a 700-something degree oven. Anyways, so I learned my lesson from her, and I made sure to sunscreen up. Okay, so I sunscreened up, but on the 90-minute, okay, this one says bleach drain, so we bleach drains on Sunday. On the 90-minute boat tour for the dolphins, which I will get to in a minute, I was undercover And this one says water plants. But I was still sunscreened up. And I was good to go. Now, the sun bounced off the water some. So I did get a little bit of pink. Nothing super major. But then, once the tour was done, there was a half-mile walk with my back to the sun to get back to my car. And that's when the back of my neck burned. Bad. For me, it was bad because any burn is bad. Any burn hurts. Bleach drains, so I got to put a bleach drains here. So I printed up the wrong thing, so I had to handwrite some of these. But that's okay. That's okay. Such is life. But I stopped at a pharmacy on the way back to my hotel, which was another adventure all on its own. This one has a water plants, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, that's got a water plants. And got a bottle of, I think the brand is Banana Boat. But I got a bottle of After Sun lotion that has vitamin E and aloe. And just every time I thought about it, every time my shirt or my hair touched the sunburn on the back of my neck, I would slather the After Sun lotion on there. And so by the time I got home, let's see, Thursday was the boat cruise. So by the time I got home, it was just a tan. It wasn't sunburn and hurting. Okay, we got some bleach drains. I want to make sure I get all of them. There we go. What I'd done was I'd gone across the page and then I cut up and down. That's why these are all in a weird order. Okay, so the cruise, the dolphin cruise, it took us forever to find a dolphin. It's never guaranteed. They don't guarantee that you will see a dolphin. They just do their best. And if nothing else, excuse me, the tour guide is a really good guide, and he does other tours besides just the dolphin one. So he knows some information about what's going on around in the bay and Hillsborough River. Actually, I think I'm going to put this on Wednesday so that the monthly update is done before the 1st. So, you know, he was giving us history lessons and all that good stuff. I didn't care about much other than the dolphins. So I didn't pay attention too much until it was dolphin talk. But, all right, next is Coumadin, and I've got it across here. One of the things I learned was that, oh, I got a couple of them in my hand. When a dolphin slaps their tail on the water, that is my brain keeps wanting to say a call to arms. It's not to arms. It's just a call to me. It's like your mother using your middle name when you're in trouble. Get over here immediately. No questions asked. Well, we saw a dolphin. Okay, so at the time, a dolphin. And he was telling us about dolphin life. They live in several different groups throughout their life. First is the nursery group with the mom and the babies. And then it's mom and baby alone, you know, once they're big enough to not need absolute constant supervision. You know, little itty bitty ones need constant supervision, and that's better with a village than it is with just one person, or in this case, dolphin. So male dolphins will live on their own once they leave mom, and dolphins will live with their mom for up to 6 years. There we go. Now, the tail slapping, like I said, was come to me, call. So at that point, we knew we didn't have a single male. We knew we had something else going on. Well, the next dolphin we saw that went up to the first one, the tail slapper, was smaller, but not like super tiny, but smaller than the first. So we figured we've got a mom and baby, and we followed them up and down the bay in the Hillsborough River. There was one point they actually came to our boat and were out of sight because of the way the boat was. You know how boats will go out and up. So as it goes out and up, they were probably like way down here under the out and up part. And a couple times they would start on one side of the boat, and the next time we found them, they'd be on the other side of the boat where they had gone underneath us. Dolphins are pregnant for 12 months. I was like, well, thank goodness I'm not a dolphin, because 8 to 9 months was more than enough for me. One of my kids was premature. Not by much, just barely. Like a couple of days more and they would have been considered full term. But because they were born when they were born, they actually put him down as premature. Plus, he had no facial hair, no eyelashes, no eyebrows. So dolphins are pregnant for a year. They live in several different groups throughout their life. They stay with their mama until they're about 6 years old. The tail slapping is using a middle name, basically. They will herd a fish up to like a rock or like one of those man-made walls for the piers and stuff, to corner it to better access getting it to eat it. Dolphins swallow their fish. They have no teeth to chew, but they swallow the fish whole, head first. Dolphins cannot drown because there is nothing connecting. Excuse me. The feeding part of their system to their lungs. So even if they were to swallow water, it wouldn't go to their lungs. Like if we swallow water the wrong way, it goes to our lungs, and then we're like, So they cannot drown because there's not a way for the liquid to get to their lungs. All right, Mat Chat will be the second Thursday, because Mat Chat is just the one studio. Let's see. So that was the dolphin tour. I absolutely enjoyed it. Next time I go to Florida, if I can work another one in, I will definitely work another one in. I saw Tampa has a Gasparilla parade near the end of January. My memories of the Gasparilla parade, that boat is all decked out. Deliveries. Let me get these big deliveries out of the way. All decked out and absolutely wonderful looking, with all of the pirate paraphernalia everywhere, right? Including pirates climbing through the rigging and stuff. That's my memory of the Gasparilla parade. What I saw was the bare boat, nothing in the riggings, no sails, no nothing. It was just sitting there. Now, when I told my dad about that, he's like, yeah, but they'll decorate it for the 4th of July parade. So apparently there'll be a 4th of July parade on the river and bay with the Gasparilla boat. It's actually called Gasparilla. If I remember, I'll try and put a picture on YouTube. You know, in my what is it, communities? I haven't done that in so long. Oh my goodness. So there was that. And I did get a couple good pictures of that. And I did get a couple good pictures of, I need another deliveries. There's like 15 million weeks in this upcoming month. Okay. Where is a piece of paper? Or a post-it note. I love these things. These things are so gorgeous. But they work best with Sharpie. Deliveries. I still need one of those. Okay. I got that at like the Dollar Tree, though it's not $1 anymore. D&D, I don't know when. Well, actually, I mean, I have it. Yeah, see, right here. Right here. I don't know. Can you see it? Right here. Because we canceled for today. Like I said, today is Sunday. So we canceled today. Because the DM and his girl are in the process of moving into basically from 2 dwellings to 1. And I got an INR here. And I got an INR there. And the girlfriend's got a daughter who is with her dad for most of the summer, or grandparents or something. And so they've got 3 people's worth of stuff to pack, and there's only the 2 of them. And they're like me, and they have those hidden disabilities where it's exhausting to just sit and do nothing, much less, okay, there's a jackrabbit, do things. So yeah, no D&D today, but we've already set it for the 3rd Sunday in July because one of our members will be out of country for 2 weeks. All right, so on Saturday we have Jackrabbit. All right, now what we got? INR. We got one there. We've got one there. Let's see. Oh, back to Florida and the vacation. Got to my hotel Sunday. Unpacked. I mean, like, I was going to be there for a week, so I might as well empty the suitcase, fill up the dresser drawers, hang the dresses in the closet, that sort of thing, right? So I had actually what I did was took a nap first. Got to the hotel, took a nap, unpacked, pool, dinner, went to bed, woke up the next morning, Monday morning, and opened up the curtains and blinds and stuff because there's like a rolling down blind and then some curtains. So I opened that up, and I had paid an extra, not quite $100 for a view of the bay, and my view of the bay was obstructed with something all over the window. It looked like a pterodactyl-sized birdie took a crap and it went right down my window. So I went down the elevator. That comes important in a bit. Went down the elevator and to the front desk and was like, look, because I'd taken a picture of it. I was like, this is what my view of the bay looks like, and I paid extra for it. And she's like, well, I don't have maintenance here today. So what we can do is you can basically suck it up and deal with it, or you can pack up and move to another room. And I was like, well, you know, because I'd gone down, I'd gone to the store, I'd gone to the beach, and I'd come back, and I was on my way back upstairs to eat. And I was like, well, let me eat and think about it. Even though I was pretty sure I was going to change rooms. I hated the idea of that. So, yeah, I ate. I decided I was going to change rooms. So I go back down the elevator to the front desk, and I tell her, thinking what would happen would be she would give me the key to the new room and let me just, you know, move over. maybe even escort me, or send like a member of housekeeping or something with me to make sure I didn't, I don't know, destroy the room that I've got a deposit on that I would need to cover anyways. I don't know. No, what she wanted me to do was go back up the stairs to the 3rd floor. Well, not up the stairs, up the elevator to the 3rd floor. Pack up my room, come back down to the front desk, and get a new key. I was like, fine, whatever. So I do. This is Monday. Absolute gorgeous view. My window is clear and maybe not necessarily clean, but I can see through it. I ended up waking up Tuesday morning and looking out, and there's a couple pylons, and on one of the pylons was a pelican, and I was like, see, this is why I wanted the view of the bay. I didn't want a parking lot view, which is probably what I would have been stuck with, but I wanted a view of the bay. So here I am on the 4th floor going about my day. As I'm eating dinner Tuesday night, and I remember I moved rooms Monday afternoon. As I'm eating dinner Tuesday night, I realized I don't even bother putting everything into the drawers. I've got a double bed. I just dumped the suitcase onto the other bed and just started pulling the clothes out, right? I realized I don't see any of my shorts or any of my tank tops over there, or any of my underwear over there on the bed. And it dawns on me that I may have left a drawer of clothes in the first room. So I go down the elevator. Newsletter will be the last Wednesday of the month. I still have all of these here too. I go down the elevator, go to the front desk, and I tell her. Now, see, it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, So she's like, well, I can't leave the desk. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. She doesn't have housekeeping there that late in the day. And I have to look at the calendar for that. The room's probably already rented out. And I'm like, probably. You got the computer right there in front of you. Why can't you figure it out? Let me double check, because I think actually, let's see, first Saturday, second Saturday. She's like, come down first thing in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't even wake up to take my morning pills until 10:30 in the morning. That's my first thing in the morning. She's like, housekeeping will get here at about 7. So come down first thing in the morning when housekeeping gets here. And somebody will go with you to go check if the room is empty. And if it's not empty, then housekeeping will go in and get the stuff. The room was empty. It was waiting to be like inspected to make sure they didn't need to charge me for damages. So anyways, I get in there and I realize all these little pieces of clothes, because shorts and tank tops and underwear are not like, dresses that you can, or jeans that you could drape over your arm. And I have no way to carry this. So I look at her and I'm like, I'm just going to take one of these still folded up bags out of the trash can here and put everything in there. And she's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, wow. All right. So yeah, I had left an entire drawer. I went ahead and checked everything else while I was there. An entire drawer of clothes. Go back up the escalator. Yeah, there's an escalator in this. Go back up the elevator, go back to my room, toss it all on the bed. All right, this is a Friday. This will be the second Friday, not the 3rd. We're closed the 3rd. It'll be here on the 10th. So I decided to go to the pool. I didn't want to go, it was going to be like too much energy to go to the beach, even though it was literally a 5-minute drive. And it was a gorgeous little beach. But got to pay for the parking, which is, you know, a hassle to sit there and be like, okay, this is my tag number because I have to look it up because I'm in a rental. Not that I know my tag number here on my current on my car. And then I have to walk, and then I go to the beach, and then I have to walk back, and just, you know, it was a lot of hassle. So I just figured I'd go down to the pool. I go down the elevator. I've got my beach towel with me. I've got a bottle of water, and I've got my phone, and I've got a menu that was slid under the door because apparently no solicitation doesn't include pizza places sliding menus under the door. I got the phone in the menu and the sunscreen in a gallon-sized zippy bag so that if water is splashed, because you know how people can get sometimes, it's not going to get wet and ruin anything. Plus, it was easier to carry the sunscreen that way. So I go down there and I spend about an hour and a half. Not necessarily in the pool the whole time, just charge INR machine. I need to put one here. Got to talking with a dad while his kid was playing. Mom was pregnant and the heat was getting to be too much, so she went back upstairs already, and we were just, you know, shooting the breeze while the kid played. Hey dad, watch this, and jump into his arms. Hey dad, throws the goggles and into the water and tells dad to go get it. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's a 5-year-old, so it's okay. Not my 5-year-old, so it's okay. Come back out, decide to go upstairs, and the elevator's busted. I have to walk 4 flights of stairs to get to my room. I get up there, I use the pizza flyer, and I order a calzone. Because, you know, that's what I wanted, was a calzone. It's actually less of a mess than a pizza. And fortunately, because first time I ordered food to be delivered, they left it at the front desk. Not at the pizza place, at a different place. And I was like, well, I guess they don't want a tip. Because I only added like a $2 tip on a $30 order. It was enough food to feed me like 3 meals. So they got a $2 tip. Anyways, so I order my calzone. They have Pepsi products, so I don't get a drink. But I'd gone to the store either that day or the day before and had some Coke and some juice and some water bottles and all that good stuff. I was fine. I was set as far as drinks go. I just needed food. So, fortunately, the connection was just bad enough that they didn't bother asking for my credit card number. So they had to deliver the food to my door. I was like, yeah, buddy, because I ain't walking up and down those stairs any more than I absolutely have to. 4 flights. But I did give the guy extra for having to walk. Because I know it's a pain in the rear. This will be the last Tuesday right here to do the 4 flights. Half of my hotel stay, the elevator was broken, including when I went to go check out. So here I am with a 40+ pound suitcase. Fortunately, there's wheels on it, trying to navigate down. They were half flights. It was like 8 steps, a landing, 8 steps. That's 1 flight of stairs. I had to do 4 of them. I get down there and I was like, what do I need to do to check out? And he's like, you just, you know, tell me your room number and give me the key and you're good to go. But I want to ask you, other than the elevator being broken, how was your stay? And I was like, well, other than the elevator being broken, my stay was great. I had one issue and it was fixed relatively quickly. So, you know, as far as that goes, I'm fine. Well, all right, I'm going to put that up there until I figure out which week is Weapons Week. So, you know, I was just a little irked. I was like, I have fibro, I have lupus, I have arthritis in every single joint, and taking those stairs up to and down from the fourth floor was a bit exhausting. I have a bad heart, and at this point, you know, I was wearing a V-cut shirt, and you could see my scar, and I was like, you know, this wasn't the best time for your elevator to go out. And he goes, I know, I'm sorry. They compensated me because I was the hotel club member thing. It's free to join. Oh, it's just ink spots. Gave me 10,000 points. And I'm like, oh, woohoo. But whatever, the chances of me staying at that particular hotel again are probably pretty thin. All right. 7, no, it wasn't 7, 9. It would be 14, 16, right? The second full week of the month. Yeah, the second full week of the month is how she does it. So that was my Florida vacation. I didn't do any amusement parks, but I think next time I might go to Lowry Park or I might do Busch Gardens. Right now I was just establishing, oh, that was wrong. Establishing my brain into Florida. And oh my God, it was so beautiful. They were like, we're having a heat wave. And I was like, I don't care. My joints, other than walking the 4 flights of stairs, my joints do not hurt. What did I do with all of the... There they are. Tip test. Come on. Let's go ahead and get this one done. So, yeah, it was about mid-90s the whole week, but the felt like was 104 to 106. And I'm still like, you know what? I love this. One of these days, I am moving back to Tampa. It's not going to be immediate. Like I told a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine, there's needs and wants. I want to move to Florida. I need to get off the second floor of this apartment building. So, yeah, we're working on that. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, we got Coumadin on all of those. That's the blood thinner I'm on. That's what the INR machine is for, is to test that. While I was in Florida, it was a little high. The week I got back and tested it, it was a little low. I was like, well, after being stable, oh, jackrabbit, that would be on a Saturday. We'll just put it here. After being stable for weeks on end, and now it's going to fluctuate. And the nurse was like, while I was in Florida, you know, can you test again? And I was like, no, it's been stable for so long that I just brought 1 test worth of stuff with me to Florida. And she's like, I get it. It's fine. Wouldn't necessarily have taken up any more suitcase room. So maybe next time I'll just take a couple of days, couple of testings worth. It all goes into a box that it stays in when it's here too. So it wouldn't, like I said, take up any more suitcase room to take a couple of testings worth next time. While I was gone, my older boy, his teeth decided to give him issues, and we're in the middle of finding a dentist that deals with adults, deals with no insurance. Let's put the sparring over there. Library over there. That's it. I feel like I'm short-handed though. short stickered Coumadin. And that will knock his butt out for the extractions that he needs. The first dentist he went to was like, here's a prescription for some Valium. You'll be fine. At that time, I was thinking, you know, it was, yeah, look at that. I need some, there was an extra week this month. I was thinking it was 2 teeth. When I picked his roommate up from the airport a couple days ago, it turns out it's up to 10. They're all on the same side. And no, a Valium would not have been plenty. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Let's see what we need. Probably need 7. Nope, I've got 3 there. Oh, that's what it is. Oi. Let's take that out. Put this back up over here. That's what it is. This goes here. So, yeah, they're working on finding a dentist that will knock him out. He will have to get partials, which is, you know, nobody wants to do dentures. And I have been very vocal with my family and friends about how absolutely miserable my dentures have been. The recovery and dealing with them and getting used to them, and it is not in any way, shape, or form a pleasant trip. I would much rather recuperate from open heart surgery again than deal with the dentures. If I had known, see, one of the things, it makes sense, and his dentist had told him that partials are easier to adjust to than a full top or a full bottom, because you still have the other side of your mouth that you can chew food with. All right. If I had known that, I would have done it that way. I would have done like all of the left side and then all of the right side instead of all of the top and all of the bottom. As it is right now, I've only got my top dentures in because I'm still trying to get used to my bottoms, which is what this is right here. Going back in and dealing with that. All right, so now let's go through all of this. Weapons is the 17th. There won't be a sparring this month because we're closed that day. Okay, so sparring can go onto this page here. Ta-ta. Probably, I know I'll go to the library. I just finished my last of the movies. I think I've got, no, I didn't check out any books to read. I purchased some free books off their shelves that they had set up. Okay, so we're closed this one. Tip test this one. Weapons this one. I need to make a breaking and practice for the 4th week. Right here, weapons. Okay. Now let's go back to the beginning. Make sure we've got an INR and a Coumadin all across the board. Or down. INR Coumadin. I know I'm rambling. I'm at the point of the video where I am rambling, and I apologize. Okay. Now, charge INR machine. Charge. I don't have one here. I am out. Let's see if I've got. No. All right, we'll take this blank one here. We'll put it down. Charge. INR machine. Now, let's check the rest of the weeks. Charge. Charge. Okay. Now I needed a deliveries. Do I have? Look at that, I do. Okay. Would have been the last one because that's the way I was working, and now I'm just going random. Deliveries. I like to do this just so I know when something is running late or gets lost or is delivered to the wrong place. Okay, we can put this up into here until I need it. I need a jackrabbit. Oh, look at that. I've got one right here. Okay. No, we don't do sparring. Library, anniversary, more Coumadin. I need... We'll put it on these. Bleach drains, water plants. And these are vinyl, so I can only write on them with Sharpie. Now I've gotten the kitchen drains bleached already today, and I'm going to clean the bathroom here in a little bit and bleach those. Water plants, I still do need to do that for today. I'm a little behind. I've been sleeping so much since getting home. Let's put that away. All right, what else do we need? I have a list somewhere to make sure I've got everything. I don't know where my list is. Yeah, 14 and 16. Self-defense for this month. We're closed that day. I need to put empty boxes in here, but that can be done later. Water plants, bleach drains. Which, yeah, I do, right up there. Okay. INR. Looks like I've got everything. I picked up my quilt top. I dropped off the quilt top about 2 months ago and picked it up Thursday. And then there's a sign on the door that said that they're not taking any more new ones until after August 1st. So fortunately, I didn't bring one to drop off. I totally forgot. My brain has been fried most of this week. You know, just the whole coming back from vacation, trying to catch up on sleep. Getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning is a little difficult sometimes. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Put that away. Clean up your mess. This will go. Oh, that's what I didn't get. Oh, I do have a newsletter. Okay. Making sure I've got everything. This can go back into here for the next time I need extras. And we are done. I'll talk at you all later. Bye.